Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game will be all about the turnovers. The Panthers are #1 in turnover differential, and they'll be up against the Saints team that knows they have to take care of the ball. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, we're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
This is Ware. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 21-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
They run again with Ware. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. Coming in carrying the losing streak, not the start that they were looking for. 3 and out on the opening drive.
So now everyone's looking at each other. And what I mean by that is, who's going to make the right play? Who's going to get us out of the doldrums? Who's going to get us out of this funk that they're in right now? They've got to find someone who will make a play, create a play, and get their confidence moving in the right direction.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
Again, it's Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Off play action, Newton. Taking a shot for Samuel. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. The big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Now Leonard Fournette. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Newton now to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They snap it to Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bruce Carter coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Well, the D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that fourth down.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And some room to work. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
They run it here. Where? And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle it behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. That good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And he floats one there, incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's 3rd and 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 15 yards there for number 15. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, How tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss it.
Martavis Bryant. Touchdown, Carolina. Martavis Bryant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
10 yards still left on 2nd down.
Let's go. Wk9
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great. But you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big 3rd down.
Play action now. Bridgewater. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. The Vikings opening their lead up to 2 touchdowns now. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Finding some room at midfield. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And they've got it here with a 1st down. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
To throw on second down is Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. From the red zone now, Newton. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That time a 6-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run now with Ware. Ware gets hit and the ball is loose. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. You start prorating these rushing numbers and looking ahead, he could be on pace for a 2,000-yard season. I don't want to jinx him, but what a year to this point.
But you just did.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, he can overcome that.
I'm not apologizing to you.
No.
Okay.
I like your attitude. But you're right. What's got to happen for it to actually occur? Offensive line has continued blocking the way they've been blocking. He has to stay healthy. But also, it's not just the idea that he's going to run the football, but you got to run it against numbers that dictate you throwing the football. Sometimes when you have 6 to block and you only have 5 guys, you've got to block them anyway, and he has to make someone miss as well the rest of the year. Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A second down throw for Bridgewater. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On the run, it's Ware. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Let's go.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Bridgewater now. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Mario Addison in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. The Jets are out to the early lead. Drew Brees, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. The tight end Olsen in motion. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. They find some open field here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Cam's going to run the option right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
In this case, I would love to be an offensive coordinator and draw up designed runs for Cam Newton.
Absolutely. And he can obviously throw it. He can pass. I mean, heck, 2015 first quarterback in NFL history. Over 30 touchdown passes and over 10 touchdown runs. He can do it all.
He's the ultimate weapon, isn't he?
Now Newton on first down. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll make it third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. Funchess is free. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased. The play clock's running down. Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Second down, Bridgewater. Dumps that off to Ware. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Wilson snags it left side. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On second down, Bridgewater again. And he's got room. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And now Bridgewater is still down. Looks like he was shaken up there. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Following the fumble recovery, Newton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead, you should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
A final shot before the break. Newton. And incomplete on the deep ball. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Panthers are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Saints didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's roll those highlights. 1st and 10. The catch will be made deep down the field. This play goes for a score. The Panthers up now by 7. Now 1st and 10. Samuel's wide open here on the catch, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 34-yard line. Panthers now later on the drive. He'll take it to the left side, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Now after the fumble, they run with their powerhouse, Leonard Fournette, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone. Panthers up now by 21. 1st and 10, the connection will be made from the gun, and he ends up at their own 49-yard line.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's got some space here. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They go play action here on first down. And caught left side, Olsen. And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A handoff to Fournette. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Again, it's Williams. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Newton on 3rd down. And that's going to be caught by Funchess for a Carolina touchdown. Devin Funchess, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And the D looking like they may blitz. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards gets him back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Here we go.
A shotgun snap for Keenan. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
They begin with a run by Fournette, and he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Fournette running right, and some room to run now. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Running left, it's Fournette. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The Panthers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. By the way, 3rd quarter now in Cincinnati as we take a look at the NFL scoreboard. And the Steelers, they've scored again and opened up that advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And now look at him go. 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Trey Burton, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints get a bit closer. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Always got some breathing room. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Fresh set of downs here. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On the run, it's Fournette. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter. They'll try the air now with Newton. Flush to his right. And some room to maneuver. And he's brought down. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So they're operating in the red zone. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Butker on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And 10. Here's Keenum. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
There's Keenum now on second down. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third and long, it's Keenum. And that is incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Carolina getting set to take the field. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Panthers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Ready?
Now Newton. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing now is Keenum. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And they're definitely showing blitz here. On first down, it's Keenum. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Back to throw, Keenum. He's got it. This is Ware. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Saints on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Again, Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he fields it cleanly. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
And that is incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it. And
oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance?
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On second down, here's Keenum. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Saints on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 15. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. And now spinning away. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This is Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
They'll run with Fournette. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Panthers, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.